about some things, but I want y'all to know me. So I'm Tyler, 30 years old, born and raised in Georgia, never lived outside of Georgia up until I was 20. 20 years old, I decided I was going to join the United States military, where I've served in Japan and in the States and in Italy and in the States again. I'm in the process of a medical board to get separated. My first suicide attempt was probably 12 years old, 13 years old. My last one was in 2014. I tried to drink myself to death over the loss of a relationship. I was stationed overseas. I was trying to make a long distance relationship work. I was supposed to get married. A lot of things were happening that I didn't know about. And it came to light. My relationship ended. And that was all I really had in my life anymore. So I felt that I had nothing to live for at that point. So I keep living. I took a handle at Jack to the head, down the whole thing in a couple hours. About 40 shots. ADC was probably sitting about 0.65. Prayed to God that I would not wake up the next day. Prayed for the safety that night after I passed out from alcohol. Woke up the next morning severely dehydrated. Probably had some alcohol poisoning. But it was a work day, so I couldn't go and I couldn't not go to work. I couldn't, call out because I felt like crap. I had to put the uniform on and go into work. I clearly smelled of alcohol very strongly. Instead of anybody trying to ask me, hey man, are you okay? Anything going on? It's not like you to show up disheveled and clearly still highly intoxicated. No, I just got yelled at and told if I do it again that my career would be in jeopardy. Fast forward 7 years and all I do from the time I get off, from the time I go to sleep and go back to work the next day, pound alcohol. It numbed the pain. It never caused any healing, but I didn't have to face anything when I was drunk. So the simplest thing to do was stay drunk. So I proceeded to live my next 7 years in a drunken stupor. Had 3 friends commit suicide. One was still active duty when he did it. Hit really close to home. He was the first one that I dealt with, and he killed himself shortly after I got stationed overseas in Italy. I was stationed with him in Florida for a year and a half. He struggled with alcoholism, depression, severe mental health, and they forced him into a year-long sobriety and treatment plan. 3 months after that ended, got drunk, put a pistol to his head, pulled the trigger. He didn't get the help he needed. He got the help that he was mandated to get. Nobody cared about his situation or his story or what was going on. They cared that he was unable to perform his job due to his drinking. So he was clearly a problem. We will solve the problem. And, the humanity side of it never existed. I had 2 friends since then who they had gotten out of the military because of the mental stress that it puts on people. They had both taken their life a few years after they got out, and I've heard about it. These kind of guys are not the kind of guys that sit and cry and talk about emotions and talk about feelings and ask for help. These 2 guys were the kind of guys that they're the life of a party. They're going to have fun wherever they are. They're going to be fun to be around. And you wouldn't even know not doing it for attention. I'm literally doing it so I can feel something, even if it's pain, just to feel something, because I'm emotionally numb to almost anything. Fast forward to right now. I'm married. I have a beautiful little girl, and I have another baby on the way. My wife is currently 8 months pregnant. I no longer have the I want to kill myself mentality, but every day I still fight demons, and I wake up and I fight the battle for my mental health, that I'm not going to be beaten. I am stronger than everything that's coming at me in my head. I'm stronger than anything that wants to challenge me. There are times where we can call it self-harm. I will cock back and punch things as hard as I can, but I know they won't break. And I'm not doing it to hurt myself. I'm not even doing it to feel anything anymore. I'm doing it now because I repressed emotions for so long and went so long without feeling anything that now when I feel anger, when I feel outrage, when I feel irritability, it is so intense that it makes me physically sick if I don't get it out somehow. And I don't know about you guys, but I don't want to get an assault charge. I don't want to get a battery charge. I don't want to start getting destruction of property charges either. And I don't want my house to look like Kyle drank a Monster and started punching on my drywall. So, at the cost of my body, in order for me to get my rage out, I punch things I know won't break. I know what you're thinking. Why don't you get a heavy bag? Well, one of my stressors is financial security, and so I can't afford a heavy bag. So I use things that, I know won't break. Metal walls, metal doors, 6x6 fence posts. Things that I know are going to hurt me, but I have to transfer that energy to something. Hitting soft stuff like a pillow, it does nothing for me. So, I guess you could say that part of it is I have to feel that pain. But it's like if I don't feel that anger leave my body via the pain, it doesn't transfer, it doesn't go anywhere. It still stays built up in me. Constantly on edge, around the clock. Brain never stops racing, never shuts off. I get about 4 hours of broken sleep a night, and this is with taking medications that are supposed to help my anxiety. My day-to-day function is brought to you fully by Adderall extended release. It's the only thing that gets me up in the morning, and it's the only thing that keeps my motor running throughout the day. When I don't have that, I am a shell of a person. I'm somebody filling some shoes. I'm completely checked out. Speaking of being checked out, we'll talk about when all this stuff came to started to come to a halt. This time last year, I told some people that I wanted to drive my car into a underpass at 90 miles an hour. Now, would I have ever actually acted on it? Who knows? I like to think that I wouldn't, but at the time, it was the only thing that I knew would take away the pain for good. Now, the only reason that I hadn't already done it was because I am living for somebody else. I'm living for my daughter. I'm living for my wife. I'm now living for my unborn baby. No matter if you're doing it for you or for somebody in your life, you have to find somebody to live for. Now, it'd be better to find them. It's always best to live for yourself and not for somebody else, because then you really want to be here. But you can't find a reason to live for yourself. Find a reason to stay here for somebody else. They don't want to see you gone. They don't want to experience life without you. You mean more to somebody than you think. I don't want to see you gone. Chances are I've never even met you. But I have completely and totally, mentally, emotionally, spiritually checked out of my marriage. part of the last 12 months. I came to realize this a couple months ago, but luckily I have a very resilient wife who's determined not to give up on us, even when I didn't care anymore. I looked her in the eye one day and told her if she was to take my kid, get in the car and leave and never come back, I wouldn't care. And that's because I was in such a dark place and I could not find a way out of it, that none of it mattered. None of it. She could have left, kid could have left. I'd have slept the same that night and thereon until I did finally get myself out of that place. Then I would have been asking myself, what did I just do? At that point, it would have been too late. But my wife never gave up on me. She stuck through it. And when I came out the other end of everything and realized, told her that I was completely checked out of our marriage, it crushed her. Because she's been sitting here fighting for us. And come to find out that I didn't give a damn one way or the other, and she stayed or left. Think about how fucked that is. For you to look at the person that you decided to spend the rest of your life with, that you can look them in the eye and tell them with no hesitation that you did not care if they came or left. It wouldn't matter to you either way. Can you imagine how difficult it has to be on the receiving end of that conversation? I look at myself now and I want to be disgusted with myself, but I know it wasn't me. It was the negativity and it was the opposition of the battle that I'm fighting in my head that was saying these things and acting this way. You have to find a purpose to live, whether it be for you or somebody else in your life. Your life is way more valuable than you can even understand. You are way more valuable than you can even understand. If you're struggling, reach out, get help, find a support system. I'll be your support system. We can become best friends if you want to. If you're in that place, wake up, open your eyes. It's not too late until it's too late. So, even if you think it might be too late, if you're still breathing, you still got time to fix this.